Many countries around the world are severely damaged by long, ongoing wars. We cannot even imagine the state of constant fear that the residents of these countries live in. Hello and welcome to the channel. As we talk about the war-torn countries in the world, let's pray for peace to prevail in each and every corner of the world. We would be talking about the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war too. Do watch till the end. Afghanistan. Once known for its diverse and scenic landscape, Afghanistan is in a difficult situation at this point of time due to the prevailing situation caused by the Taliban. Back in 2001, US forces raided Afghanistan. Their aim was to first topple the Taliban and then gradually ensure the complete eradication of the Taliban from Afghan territory. In addition, they intended to rebuild core institutions in the country. Counter-insurgency troops were also implemented by the US in Afghanistan to protect the civilians from Taliban attacks. They believed that this would help the Afghan government to establish its position in the country in a steady manner. So many measures were undertaken, but insurgency clashes and Taliban attacks couldn't be stopped. On April 14, US President Joe Biden announced a full US troop withdrawal from Afghanistan, as a result of which the Taliban took over the country in August last year, leading to absolute chaos and violence. As the Taliban entered Kabul on August 15, 2021, thousands of people tried to flee the country, but chaos and violence at the airport impeded the evacuation of many at-risk Afghans. The current war situation in Afghanistan continues to claim civilian lives through bombings, crossfires, assassinations, and improvised explosive devices. Let's hope that this ends soon and people of Afghanistan find peace. I do not want the peace that passeth understanding. I want the understanding which bringeth peace. Iraq. The Republic of Iraq is a country in Western Asia. The long history of Iraq has been marred several times by the ravages of war. The Second Kurdish-Iraqi War, 1974-75, the Iran-Iraq War, 1980-88, and the Gulf War, 1990-1991, are some of the major wars fought by Iraq in the past century. In 2003, US forces invaded Iraq to overthrow the Iraqi government led by Saddam Hussein, and the war that ensued ultimately led to Saddam's defeat in the war and his consequent death. Unfortunately, much of the country is in the grip of Iraqi civil war since 2014, when the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, ISIL or ISIS, conquered major areas in northern Iraq. The Iraqi government has received aid from United States, Iran and Syria to help defeat ISIS. You would be shocked to know that between 2003 and 2011, 500,000 Iraqis lost their lives to warfare. War and conflict also appears to haunt the country in the present time, as much of the country is in the grip of Iraqi civil war. Peace is not the highest goal in life. It is the most fundamental requirement. Syria. The Syrian civil war is the second deadliest war in the 21st century. The conflict arose from discontent with the Syrian government and escalated with protests in 2011 that called for Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's removal. These protests were violently suppressed and led to war. The opponents of the war in Syria are the Ba'athist Syrian Arab Republic led by al-Assad and their allies, and the domestic and foreign forces opposing the Syrian government. If you are liking the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Moving on. The war has displaced more than 11 million Syrians from their homelands and claimed the lives of 250,000 people. Remember, the day the power of love overrules the love of power, the world will know peace. Yemen. Since 2015, Yemen has been involved in a civil war. The war is being fought between two sides, both of which claim to be the legitimate Yemeni government. These sides are the forces associated with Ali Abdullah Saleh, who are based in Sana'a, and the forces loyal to Abdurrabbu'ah Mansour Hadi, who are based in the port city of Aden. Saudi Arabia tried to restore the former Yemeni government by launching airstrikes. However, this action has been condemned by the international community because of the number of civilian deaths. It is estimated that over 100,000 people have been killed in the Yemeni civil war, including 12,000 civilians. I think that people want peace so much that one of these days government had better get out of their way and let them have it. Mexico. The Mexican drug war is an ongoing conflict between the Mexican government and various drug trafficking syndicates. The war also consists of violence between competing drug cartels throughout Mexico. Since 1982, federal law enforcement has been reorganized 5 times to attempt to reduce cartel violence and control corruption. Can you believe it? Since 2006, more than 100,000 people have been killed and several have gone missing as a result of the drug war. Peace is a journey of 1,000 miles and it must be taken one step at a time. Ukraine is a European democracy of 44 million people. Russia and Ukraine are currently in a war situation. Before we move ahead, let's first understand what is NATO. NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization or Atlantic Alliance, is an international political and military organization with the aim of guaranteeing the freedom and security of its members through political and military means. Now let me give you a brief background. In mid-December 2021, Russia's foreign ministry demanded for the United States and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, that is NATO, to cease any military activity in Eastern Europe and Central Asia. Not only this, they demanded NATO to commit against further expansion towards Russia and also to prevent Ukraine from joining NATO in the future. The United States and other NATO allies rejected these demands and warned Russia they would impose severe economic sanctions if Russia invaded Ukraine. The United States sent additional military assistance to Ukraine, including ammunition, small arms, and other defensive weaponry. On February 24, 2022, Putin announced the beginning of a full-scale land, sea, and air invasion of Ukraine, targeting Ukrainian military assets and cities across the country. Airports and military headquarters were attacked. Then tanks and troops rolled in from Russia. Russia annexed Crimea and its ally Belarus. Big cities have been shelled, neighborhoods razed to the ground, and millions of Ukrainians have fled their homes. Biden has since issued severe sanctions in coordination with European allies. It targets 4 of Russia's largest banks, its oil and gas industry, and US technology exports to the country. The United Nations, G7, EU, and other countries continue to condemn Russian actions and they vow to respond. Now, the important question is, what would Russia take to stop the war? To stop the war, the Russian leader wants Ukraine to recognize Crimea as part of Russia and to recognize the independence of the separatist-run East. And he demands that Ukraine changes its constitution to guarantee it will not join NATO and the European Union. If you don't know the guy on the other side of the world, love him anyway because he's just like you. He has the same dreams, the same hopes and fears. It's one world, pal. We are all neighbors. Let's see some of the other war-torn countries. Somalia, Libya, DRC, Central African Republic, and the Kurdish-Turkey conflict, which is the Turkey, Iraq, and Syria. Guys, do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Remember to be kind, make healthier choices, help others. Keep watching Isay Kids, keep learning, keep growing, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye.